Here we go, here we go, here we go. The spread playbook once again, volume 2, part 2. This is Kenny Catfish coming back at you, showing you a little bit of more of formation shifting and spread sets. Also, we will be running the 4-minute offensive style. No practice mode. Just put your game jerseys on and be great. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to show you a few drives, maybe 3 or 4 of them. Show you how it's done in real time. Refer to part 1 of this series, and to show you the audibles and a lot of the key components of this little series. And with this, we're going to be working with 4 formations or 5 formations. That would be the spread flex, the gun double Y flex offset, and then the spread halfback weak. Also, we'll have a compressed formation, which is the tight, and you can shift over to the stack, which is like a wildcat formation. So I'm just setting the audibles, letting you know how it is in real time. It's just five sets from the gun spread, and it takes like you got to use one of your timeouts when setting the audibles. So like I say, refer to part 1 of this, and you'll see, like, you know, all the nuts and bolts of this. So sometimes I like to come out in the little wildcat, and I like to try to manipulate the user. This whole spread concept is to manipulate the user. You want to get him guessing, keep him going the wrong way. Sometimes you're gonna, like in baseball, you got to take a pitch. You know, you let one go by, you don't swing, whether it's a strike or not, whether it go over the plate or not. So with that being said, in comparison, I'm talking about you're just gonna have to run the ball up the middle sometimes, throw a short pass, take a shot down the field, just to keep the defense on his toes and keep them, you know, respecting you, so he won't try to cram the box. You know, you always want to be in control. You always want to be dictating the pace. And with these 5 spread formations, you can do stuff like this. See, he had no idea that I was coming. And it's all about reading the D line and stuff. In fact, that's the first thing that I do when I come to the line of scrimmage. I want to know, where's the D line? Are they spread out? You know, are they cramped in? Where's the user? You also want to check and see if the cornerbacks are pressed or off coverage. You want to see if the safeties are, is it 1 high? Is it 2 high? Is someone like roving around? Once you find that kind of stuff out, this is a nice little tool set to use. Like right here, it was a 2 high safety, so we're going to read up there first. We got a check down right here. If you go back and look at it, number 23 didn't know where to go, so he played low, so we went over his head to the comeback route. Coming back to the little wildcat set, remember last time we ran with the quarterback, so I guess he wanted to try to stay disciplined and be in the back. And you notice we've been in the little stack Y off this whole drive, and now he's over there. Look at him on Slay. He's on the left side of the screen, and we're trying to just get him to fall for the okie doke. So he's trying to stay home. He's still kind of lost in the sauce. Go over the top, and it's a touchdown. So sometime, like I say, you're gonna have to take a pitch. Go over to the next drive number 2. I'm in the white. He's a Jaguar guy too. It's a random opponent I'm playing online. Here we go, back to the stack Y off. This is the first drive of the game. That's the one play right there. We're gonna take a pitch, let one go by, just to try to keep him thinking otherwise, because you don't want to just come out in your money plays. So there you go. I saw him kind of hesitate a little bit. He wanted to stay. So it's 3rd and 11. We go back to our PA read. This is in the spread flex weak. As you can see, he's a user. That is a completion. So it's all about reading. There you go, right there. So split the safeties versus cover 2. So you're gonna be reading the right side, and then the comeback route if it's a deep third, man-to-man, or quarter outsides, which is cover 4 essentially. Back in the spread, here goes the shift. So off coverage, we've talked about this numerous of times. You're gonna take your 10 and out. Now sometimes you got to be aware of that 10 and out, because these guys would like to protect the sticks. I think like right here. So we just lined up in the same set. ran the ball with the trap. If you refer to part 1, you got to watch part 1 of this to know what's all going on, because we have quick handoffs and we have slow handoffs. So right here was a read. The pocket kind of broke down. This wasn't in the strategy. That's how it is. You got, as a user, you're gonna have to have some kind of skills to improvise, and you have to, you know, play off instincts. That's just part of being a Madden player. So here we go on the goal line. We're in the red zone. Put the running back on the other side because we saw the D line. That was a gap right there. You always want to check for your gaps. If the gap's there, you're gonna take the shot and run the ball. So now I got the both of best worlds, because I get to hand the ball off or I get to do a screen. It was a good play, but maybe it was like a bad late read. Who knows? Sometimes that's gonna happen. This guy is still waiting on the screen. That's why he's hovering over that right side, and it's time to take a money play. Time to take that shot, baby. This is what I call manipulation. Now look at him as a user. He is nowhere to be found. Boom. Get her done. That's how I see it. Cover 2. We split the safeties. Moving forward to the next drive. I think this is the first drive of the game as well. I've already set my audibles and stuff and trimmed or whatnot. So we got a cover 3 off coverage, but we're in our wildcat little formation. Now, ideally, there you go. You take your shot first. Ideally, you want to run with the quarterback, or you want to see if you can break with the jet touch pass to the receiver. And there you go. He's want to follow the receiver. I think I had my hand on that speed button. You want to take your hand off that speed button. You know, that's like it's an addiction having the hand on that speed button. So that was on me right there. 3rd and 11. Here we go. Now you have to go back in practice mode in the part 1 to see that play. The fake seam is pretty much a good play, because if you have an overly aggressive user, like how he was trying to play conservative. Then you have an overly aggressive user, he'll like to follow. So he'll be following the jet, then he'll follow the tight end going across, and you can throw it to the running back on that seam route coming behind him. So we get in the compressed set, in the tight. Just want to get our first down and keep the sticks moving. Now I'm gonna let you know, I do throw picks. I do turn the ball over. I do turn over on downs. I do fumble. I do lose games. I'm not perfect. I just had to give a disclaimer right there. So sometimes it's gonna look good on these highlight tapes right here, but this is a high octane strategy to move the ball down the field and win some ball games. This guy is still in cover 3 off coverage. Sometimes you just gotta be patient at times. See how I had my hand off the speed button, and just to let you know, running stuff like this, if you have a scrambler, you might want to have a fast break. It helps out a lot. It helps get some nice little explosions. Boom, off coverage. I'm not giving up on my screen. That's when you got the off coverage out there. It all depends on that man in the slot. See, he backed up the safety then, so that means he was baselining or whatever. So I'm pretty sure this is a cover 3. Now he go back to the baseline again. Out routes. If you checked out my RPO mini scheme from the gun split slot offset, you'll know about the 10 and out route, smart route. It's always nice to run that trap up the middle, keep them guessing. See, now it's a spread. See, that's the thing about this concept right here. This is a spread concept, so he have to account for the slot receivers, the outside receivers, and the running back. So you don't give up on your screen plays once it gets stopped once. Usually down here in the red zone, people like to get in cover 2, and look like he's going to line up in off coverage right now. So he pressed. I see a gap with my D line at, so he jumps off sides. I would have ran that in the middle. Once again, triangle is not accounted for because he just baseline. And we also did like an outside run ourselves. We bounced outside. So here we go. I had a screen lined up, but it was a read. I was part of having an RPO. You know, it was a zone alert. And most likely these guys are going to be in cover 2 for the rest of the drive, or you know, when they get down in the red zone. So be aware of that. And running the ball is very strong versus cover 2. So running the ball straight up the middle, like up the gut, like a slam or a blast. Here we go with the jet touch pass. I gave it to him and we got on in there. Moving forward to the final drive, which is number 4. Before we get started, I want to show you something I forgot to mention. Another thing you want to do when you're running this stack wildcat formation, you're going to be running a quarterback run. So I advise you to go to the coaching adjustments and put your ball carrying in conservative. Less fumbles. He won't try to break the tackle and stuff. So spread offense once again. That was a good read right there. You might want to take some notes, some little mental notes. You won't be able to remember everything I said, but jot down some, some little critical things, something that kind of stood out, So now he want to play on this receiver over there. And here we go, just formation shifting. He think I flipped the play. I moved the running back over. It's just a pass play. Here go the famous mesh route. Here we go. I'm going to say 80% of that time, 80% of the time, if you throw it to that guy against that type of coverage, he's catching the ball. So you come right back the next play and he caught the ball. So you do this play 10 times, he's catching it 7 or 8 of the times on that route. But you got to make sure no one lurks underneath. Here we go, running the halfback base. That's one of the best running plays of this whole little game plan. Sometimes you just won't get it, though, so you got to be patient with that. That was my fault. Should have canceled the play action. The deep outs was wide open. Should have canceled the play action. 3rd and 15. Here goes the PA read. 2 high safeties. 1 safety dropped down in the coverage. He got in front of square, so I took what the defense gave me, ran the ball, slid on the ground. 4th and 3. We'll go for it. Boom. Once again with the mesh route. That just shows you how effective these routes are versus off coverage. So he's relying on the screen. I guess he want to get you like a jump user pick. And look at him hovering around. He's lost in the sauce. We go over the top and get 6. And as you can see, we kind of had square open. I don't know if he ran committed or not, but we just took the safer route. And you got to have instincts, like I said. That was a money play, Fort Will. This is Kenny Catfish coming back at you another one. Stay tuned for part 3 of volume 2. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. I got you covered, man.